Having learned a harsh lesson or two in the past over getting a little bit too excited over E3 announcements, I generally try to keep my expectations and my excitement level pretty reined in over these big promotions that are intended to hype up upcoming games. With South Park: The Fractured But Whole, I'm really struggling to keep that excitement reined in. When it comes to things created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, just about everything they've put their hands on over the last 16, 17 years has been pretty much solid gold. So if they don't have your faith by now, what the hell else do they have to do? Point being, it looks like they are very hands-on once again with the overall creative process of this game, particularly in the storytelling aspect, to where this game looks like, much like the Stick of Truth will very much feel almost in a sense like an entire season of South Park that you're getting to play through. And from the little snippets that we've seen from the trailer and the gameplay features, it looks absolutely fantastic, and in a lot of ways, more of the same with the Stick of Truth, but with a new feel, and to me, that is totally fine. So far from what we know about the story, you are still the new kid in town, and this essentially takes place the day after the events of the Stick of Truth. Cartman seems to still refer to you as douchebag, but rather than playing Lord of the Rings and whatnot, it is playing superheroes now. Now, I gotta say that when I found out that superheroes was gonna be the theme of The Fractured But Whole, I was beyond stoked, because the Coon and Friends trilogy was probably my favorite of the trilogy sets of episodes that South Park has done over the years, and there's so much potential for essentially character growth within those superhero kind of personas that they've developed for themselves, and I'm excited to see where that goes, especially in the sense of developing yourself as your own character with your own superpowers and how they all work that into things. The actual trailer for the game has the whole crew sitting down in Cartman's basement in full superhero getup, obviously, discussing the phases of their cinematic universe, basically making a parody of everything that Marvel is doing, and even a little jab at DC thrown in there, and it is all executed perfectly to where the trailer itself is just hilarious, and as much as it gets me excited for the game, it's just really funny to watch. It's like a little snippet of classic South Park at its best. It also looks like in this game, Facebook might not be the go-to platform for handling all your missions, your friend requests, your inventory. That seems to be replaced by Coonstagram, of which Cartman seems to help you get set up early on in the game, and that's a perfect evolution of things throughout this. Really, on the whole, this game looks to have a lot of similarities to what made the Stick of Truth great. It looks like the kind of overworld design of things is almost exactly the same with the way you interact with the world and how that was all done, and that was done masterfully in the Stick of Truth. One thing that does look to be drastically changed, though, is the battle system. Now, not to knock the battle system in the Stick of Truth, because I feel it was simplistic and I really enjoyed it, but there were certain things within it that you could somewhat do repetitively, that were somewhat overpowering moves that you could use against just about every enemy, that sort of made it kind of feel stale in some ways. It was still fun to explore other aspects of everything, but if you ever needed an easy way out, it was pretty much there within a certain set of attacks or weapons or moves and whatnot. This time around, they're saying they're utilizing time and space, in the sense that you can move around different areas of a battle, interact with different objects, and the way that you kind of move characters around that into certain objects will eventually affect outcomes of the battle or do additional damage, give you bonuses and whatnot, and I think that is really cool. The way that this gets me excited is that it makes every battlefield potentially different, in the sense, especially with boss battles, to where you have to utilize different things, to where getting into that pattern of repetitive and stale attacks is maybe not going to get it done for you anymore, and I think that's cool. I think it adds a little bit more challenge to things to sort of explore what your character can do, but again, I think it's a really cool idea to see how you can interact with the rest of your environment rather than having a couple characters battling and the backdrop being just that, only a backdrop. It seems like they're going a little bit above and beyond that with this new battle system, and I'm really curious to see how it all pans out in the end, and if it really works with how ambitious they seem to think it's going to be. Anyway, guys, like I said, I try not to get too excited over games when it comes to E3, but this was seriously a fantastic presentation in my book. Has me really excited for this game. I think they just seem to get it as to what will make a South Park game good, and it will be basically playing through episodes of South Park. The characters need to be themselves, and they'll interact in those same ways, and that's what basically should come natural to Trey Parker and Matt Stone, is writing those characters to do that, whereas you have game developers working with them to make the actual game aspects of it. And in the Stick of Truth, those two blended together perfectly, and so far so good as for what the Fractured Butthole is looking like it's going to deliver come December. Anyway, that is just a couple quick thoughts I had on this whole presentation. I really enjoyed it. I laughed out loud several times throughout the whole thing, and it has me really excited for this game. But did you see the presentation too? What did you think? Let me know what you thought of it. If you played the Stick of Truth, what did you think of that game? In my opinion, it's pretty much a masterpiece. It's not something totally revolutionary in gaming, but for a South Park fan, just about the perfect thing you could imagine within a video game world. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. I always appreciate that. It really helps me out. If you want more videos like this one, if you want other E3 recaps that you want to hear my thoughts on, let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want more videos, but above all else, everybody, thanks so much for watching.